Hi guys, in this video I just want to go over 8 things I think people may want to do, prepare for and consider before Battle for Azeroth is released, even though it's somewhere off as of right now. So starting with number 1, Order Hall Gold. I highly recommend that people try to make the most of all of the gold missions that appear on your class Order Hall missions table and at least try and 200% them as best you can. These are very simple to do and do not take up a lot of your time. Simply sending out your followers on these missions can net you a decent amount of gold per week. If you have any alts that are able to do this as well, even if they cannot 200% the missions, then make sure you do this with them as well, on a daily basis. You can simply log on to each character in the morning and send them all off on any available gold missions, and again log on before you go to bed and do the same overnight. I use the Legion application on my phone or my iPad as it means I don't even have to log into my PC. The reason I recommend you doing this is when the next expansion releases, I would expect the same thing to happen what happened in Warlords of Draenor. And that was that all of the gold missions will no doubt be removed from the Order Hall missions table. So by doing this now, it can help you build up a sizable amount of gold to be used when the new expansion is released. Number 2. The Mage Tower. Now this one may not be for everyone, but if you can, you should try and do the Mage Tower challenges to obtain your unique looking class character skins. Especially for any character skins you like the look of. As once Legion is over, Blizzard have stated you will no longer be able to obtain these. I would highly recommend going for the Guardian Druid skin if you have a max level Druid, as that really is a unique looking skin and is one of the easier tank challenges to do. So if you like the look of it, then go for it, as it would be a shame for people to miss out on it. Now these challenges are no longer as difficult as they once were when they first came out, since getting your artifact weapon now to a high level is now no longer a problem, and can be done with relative ease, along with getting your character's item level to around 930 and upwards, as this can now also be easily obtained by running through looking for raid at least once a week, along with killing the weekly Invasion World boss on Argus for the chance of high level loot, or by purchasing loot using Veiled Argonite from the Relinquished vendor on board the Vindicar. All of this would give you more than enough item level and power to make these challenges so much more easier. Number 3. The Mythic Plus Hidden Skin. The Mythic Plus Hidden Skin requires you to complete a Mythic Plus 15 dungeon within the time limit. Once again, Blizzard have stated that when the new expansion is released, this skin will no longer be obtainable. Now this may prove to be one of the hardest tasks for people to achieve, especially if you don't normally do this kind of content, but I would recommend really pushing to do this if the set of affixes that occur for that particular week are some of the less dangerous combinations. For example, something like Sanguine, Volcanic and Tyrannical could be considered one of the easier combinations. However, all of the affixes are doable, and if people use their stuns, slows and other crowd control abilities correctly, then all affixes can be dealt with quite comfortably and well within the time limit. Number 4. The Legendary Fishing Artifact. The Legendary Fishing Artifact is called the Underlight Angler, and it's basically a legendary fishing rod that you can upgrade with artifact power that you obtain from fishing. It works in the same way as your artifact weapon, by giving you various traits, which gives you the chance of fishing up Bloods of Sagaris, and helping you obtain more fish with fewer casts. For example, when fishing in a pool of high mountain salmon, you could fish up the entire school of salmon from just one cast. But the real reason you want this fishing rod is for 2 of the traits in particular. One trait is called Surface Tension, and this simply allows you to walk on water, which can be extremely useful. And the second trait is called Underlight Blessing, which transforms you into a fish whenever you're underwater, which of course gives you underwater breathing and incredibly fast, possibly the fastest, underwater movement speed in the game. This is also not zone specific, meaning you can use it everywhere. To get it, you must be level 110, be level 800 in your fishing skill, and have completed the achievement Bigger Fish to Fry. The Bigger Fish to Fry achievement requires you to collect all of Legion's 18 rare fish. Now don't let this put you off, as it really is a very easy achievement to get, and can be done in a few hours, as you can buy all of the bait you need for these fish on the auction house. And once you meet those requirements, you then need to fish up a luminous pearl from any pool in Legion, and once acquired, it will start a very short quest line, which rewards you with the artifact. I have linked a guide in the description box below that I used if you are interested in obtaining this legendary. Number 5. The Brawlers Guild Mount. If you reach rank 8 at the Brawlers Guild, both Horde and Alliance are able to purchase a mount which looks pretty cool. If you are Horde, you get the Brawlers Burly Mushan Beast, and if you are Alliance, you get the Brawlers Burly Basilisk. I don't have this mount yet, and this is one of the things that I myself am currently doing in my free time. The reason I recommend you doing this is because right now, at the end of the expansion, you will be as powerful as you're ever going to be. So it should help in some way of reducing the difficulty of the later fights to reach rank 8. Also, the Brawlers Guild often goes on hiatus, so we never know when or if it will come to an end before the next expansion releases, so you may lose the opportunity to get this mount. Number 6. First Aid. Now there are rumours that First Aid is possibly being removed from World of Warcraft in the next expansion. I made a video on this recently and I'll link it above if you want to see what I'm talking about. But if this turns out to be true, then that will mean that First Aid achievements will no longer be available. Now most of these achievements just require you to make a certain number of bandages or a certain kind of bandage. However, there are ones in Legion, such as the Field Medic achievement, which require you to come to the aid of wounded NPCs who are scattered around the Broken Isles. In order to complete this quest, you need to kill certain enemies and hope that they drop the note that gives you the particular quest you're after. I am currently doing this achievement right now, and I need 3 more to complete it. It can be quite time consuming, depending on how lucky you are with the drop rate of the items. I will put a link in the description box below with some helpful information as to which mobs and zones to farm for the particular quest you may be missing, so be sure to read the top green comment sections. When this achievement is completed, you will receive the Field Medic title, so if you do like to collect achievements, then this may be one you want to complete, as it is possible it will no longer be obtainable if First Aid is removed. Number 7. Pots and Potions. If you are an alchemist like me, then make sure you keep back a large stack of DPS potions and flasks, as these can help you level a lot faster when the new expansion releases. For example, macroing my opening spell of Avenger's Shield to cast whilst using a potion of prolonged power at the same time, with the following macro, enables me to kill enemies a lot faster. This may only be a minor DPS increase when the new expansion releases, but it still helps when questing early on. And it's also a good way of making use of any additional herbs you may have left in your bank. A lot of people actually level like this in a new expansion, especially raiders, who are looking to get to max level a little bit faster. Of course, you can also sell and make a lot of potions to sell before the release of the next expansion, but do make sure you keep at least some for yourself. And finally, number 8. Your guild's future for the next expansion. Now towards the end of any expansion is one of the best times to find a new guild, should you need to, as many players may not be going to be playing in the next expansion for various reasons, or they may be considering playing a different role. Whatever those reasons may be, you have to think about yourself and how this will affect you and your guild's future in the next expansion. For example, are you happy in your guild if you're in one? Are they meeting the goals that you are currently looking to do and achieve, be it Mythic plus dungeons, normal, heroic or Mythic raiding? If the answer is yes, are the players who currently raid, for example, staying around to once again raid in the next expansion, or will replacements need to be found? If so, you need to start doing that now. If you're not happy, or people have stated they may not return for the next expansion, then it might be time for you to start looking, finding and joining a new guild, especially if it's a progression raiding guild you're looking for. I'm mentioning this now as it will prove a lot easier to both apply and join a new guild right now, when guilds might be actually looking to build a roster for the next expansion, rather than waiting to do so when Battle for Azeroth releases, as by that time, guilds normally have a team in place and positions filled on their roster. These are important questions to think about since the end of the expansion is getting nearer and you need to know where you stand. Anyway guys, those were my 8 things you can do and prepare for before Battle for Azeroth releases. I hope it helps or gives you something to think about, so please do comment, like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.